the magic that we experienced on our recent retreat. So everything's saying go, go, go. And hi, Kim. It looks like we're here, so I'm so happy. And my apologies for yesterday. The sound wasn't working. And and I don't have this on. So um, this is not the best microphone. However, my brand new lavalier yesterday clearly is not functional. So we're going to use this. Hopefully it's working well for everybody. I'm going to check in with my team to make sure you can hear me. And so we we took down the live stream from yesterday, so don't go looking for it. And what we did today is we sent out, and we'll be sending you again with the replay, but you can get the replay right here. And if you subscribe, then you'll get and click notifications or something, then you know when we go live, you know when we post something, and we're doing something every single day this week. So today is July 10th. It is 2023, and we are evolving so quickly that it's important we stay in the present moment. We understand the energies that are moving through us, past us, around us. We hear and sense and see the messages that are constantly coming through, all the different messengers. And we also become aware of not only what is the medicine, what's the energy of things in our life, in our mind, in our emotions, in our heart, in our thoughts, in our identity, and what we're attached to. Anything that we feel or think or digest, consume, receive, give our attention to. This is energy that you are consuming the medicine of it. All medicine can harm and heal. That means that somebody could be really, really good for you and then not really, really good for you, right? It depends on the time. It depends on the place. It depends on a lot of different factors. So we are evolving so quickly that let's say it used to take you 10 years to walk around a track, okay, with hurdles placed evenly. Excuse me, my glasses are always, let's just say I'm so grateful for them. And you're going to hit a hurdle every so often at the same amount of time between if you're walking at an equal pace. Now, we all cannot be 10,000% in every moment. Sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're sick, sometimes you have a broken leg, sometimes you don't know how to do something, sometimes you've done it a million times and you can do it super fast without even thinking. So all time and space carries circumstances, and what happens when we go on retreat? We leave our ordinary world. We decide to say yes to the call to adventure, to the call from the soul, to the call that says your soul's medicine is waiting for you and it's time. Here is a cocoon, here's a journey, here's a tunnel, here's a timeline that if you walk this, you are going to find those doors that will open only for you. You are going to follow your bliss a little bit more. You're going to understand who you are, what your purpose is. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel happier. And this last retreat that just ended a few days ago, I'm still in it. One lady said, we created dolphin divination rings. We wanted to let the dolphins be oracles for us. So the same way you would use oracle cards, here's the Lemurian deck that we used at the retreat. The Lemurians came in the first day. And good. So I'm live, but I need to know what my sound is. There we go. And so instead of cards, we created sayings, and everybody contributed. So everybody wrote different ideas that they downloaded. We had a meditation and an activation and a healing where the dolphins came in the beginning. I do a sound healing, an energy healing, a light body healing for each person. So I've created the sacred space. I've called to the land. I've talked to the land, the spirits, the guides, to you, to your higher self, to your guides, to all the dolphins in the physical pod, the 3D that we play with, to the dolphin collectives, the dolphin realms. In this particular one, we had a lot of silver dolphin realm. And that's what you're working with right now, because we're in the middle of 3 or 4 different stargates that are going to lead to 888, the Lion's Gate. That's another topic, but I want you to understand that it started on the full moon, and the full moon was July 3rd, and we were in the middle of our retreat. I designed the retreats to align astrologically. The day we start, the hour we start, based on the place we are on the planet. I'm extremely specific. I research and check with my expert astrologer what is the best birth date for the event. So the event starts for you when you decide to go, when you put your deposit, when you, whatever it is you do to stamp in, I'm going. I might not know how, I'm going to let it unfold, I'm going to take the steps, but I know this is optimal for my soul. At that moment, the dolphins start speaking to you. Me, I have been trained in many mystery schools from different shaman, different principles, future schools, other schools on other planets, schools from ancient lifetimes, including the Maya, clearly, that this has resonated and come back into my life at this third phase of my life in this particular lifetime. So this is your pinnacle life, and whatever you feel called to, you need to pay attention to very carefully. Whatever is falling out of your life is liberating you. Don't fall into the pattern of believing that bad things are happening, this is unfortunate, you failed, or anything else. The dolphin spirit is already coming. It's in the waters. They maintain the grids. They threw nets of light around us before we even got there. Then the night that we went to dinner, we were right next to the dolphins, and we get to eat dinner under the moonlight next to the dolphins and all different fabulous restaurants. I don't know, we had Thai and we had Mexican and we had, I don't know, they had some kind of seafood at one point, and we enjoyed all of the senses, all of the beauty, and the place that we're in, the land and the water and the dolphins, and the waters came in the first day. So all of this begins to talk with you, to your spirit. It's working in conjunction. I'm the conduit. And what an incredibly wonderful job this is, right? To be the conduit for dolphins. I still can't believe I get the access I do to dolphins. I don't know. It's not something I really ever thought of. I didn't lay around and dream about it because I didn't think it was really something that was possible. And yet, because I kept fine-tuning my intuition, I kept taking every bump in my life, every up, every down, everything in between, and used it as a sacred path opener. You answer the call of your soul in any way, tiny little one, take a detour during the day, buy yourself flowers, or say something nice to yourself, or decide not to go down the hole of feeling upset or angry at somebody because you think that they're doing something wrong because you're giving your power away. The dolphins and the ancient Maya walked a path every day, understanding they were multidimensional, understanding they were a physical body and they were a spiritual being, and that they could track and read the symbols and the signs in the stars, in the sun, in the ground, in the messengers, in the animals. They coded these into their buildings that still exist all around me and that we go to. You are filled with codes. Everything is codes. Everything is energy. What happens on retreat is that your soul is called. You step out. I can't tell you how many people have come to these retreats who had no money, or had no idea how they were going to get the money, or had no idea who was going to take care of the things at home, whether it was family or work or pets or parents. And yet they kept taking that step. They kept saying, I don't know how, but okay. And they stepped forward, because if your soul wants something for you, if it is optimal for your highest good at this time, I don't want you to come on retreat with me unless it is optimal for your highest good at this time. You might not believe it is optimal. You might feel fear. You might think you have to solve something or get something or do something before you can come on retreat. And the answer almost always is now. Why? Well, than ever before. We're moving fast. And the vibrations that the dolphins carry, that the sacred pyramids carry, that the waters carry, that the information and energies that I channel through for you, for us as a group, and for the greater good of all, is that this is a path of a master. And this was told to me the first day on the first healing. So the really fun thing is that I've changed these up this year, and they're going to change up again next year. And the December retreat is really important. All right. It's the beginning of December. So it's going to set you up for the solstice and for the new year and for the completions and the beginnings. And my birthday's that month too. So if you have some kind of other event happening that month, it's the time of the deepest dark, the shortest day. And then you come to paradise and you play in warmth. You're wrapped in the Caribbean turquoise sea. You're welcomed into the womb of the earth. And all of this, especially if you live somewhere cold or just not very pretty, all the leaves fall off or something in the winter, then it's an incredible opportunity to come somewhere to feed your soul. You never come anywhere. You never follow the path that's optimal for your highest good, which is what I teach you, whether you're a private client or a student, whether you're in the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp coming up. Watch for an update on that, whether you're come to a retreat. This last retreat, somebody came for their 4th time in 7 of these kinds of retreats. I've done other ones, but 7 of these Mayan dolphin retreats. And why? Why would you come back again? Well, she said, she put down for her dolphin divination, where does joy live? And I asked her beforehand because I was so happy, and I do a session with you privately before the retreat on Zoom so you can have it. And she said, her business is successful. So many things are prospering and good and settled, and the family and harmony. And there's so many things compared to the amount of time that I've known her that have really grown. And actually through the 4 years or so of the pandemic and all the things that were happening, that we didn't have these retreats, she had things come into focus. And so she's got this success, and she's realizing that now what's the missing piece? Personal self-care, giving herself more time. That in order to truly grow her business to the next level and to align with her path, she has to focus inward now. She has to become a different person in her life. Perhaps you feel that way too. Or perhaps you feel like you're on the precipice of success, or everything is falling apart, everything is leaving, you lost your job, or you decided you don't want to work with these kinds of people anymore, or this is draining you, or however you're showing up, or whatever identity you have isn't working. And what is happening? Your soul is becoming more and more ready to talk. The two intuitive channels are opening. The reason we get together in everything I do is to activate you to align with your highest good. What is optimal for you and your highest good at this time? That's your soul's path or destiny or blueprint. That's your soul's powers. That means the powers that you're designed to have in this life, the wisdom you've gained from any pain, fear, or challenge. You do not want a life of only happy, 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 because you wouldn't know it was happy. You would become miserable with that happy. You would have nothing building your strength. You're in a series of metamorphoses, and you are the pinnacle life. So the fun thing about this retreat coming up, this final retreat for 2023, is that we're going to take all the energies that have come up, all the energies that have released. They've shown me that certain vibrational things have arisen. And one thing we ended up doing on this retreat was a lot of sound healing, all kinds of sound healing. Like I just suddenly started saying, this is what happens when you join, your energies join. And then you start getting worked with all the energies. I'm working with the land, the spirits, the guides. I'm watching every minute because things change very quickly. So if I say, oh, it's going to be all about, your inner self, your inner child, then by the time we get to December, that may shift and change, or it might come out in a different way. I don't know. So what we want to do is be fluid. And the first elemental that came through this time was water. And this was significant because the Lemurians came through in the opening activation. So we came and we have this opportunity to be together in houses and condos, and we gather. And we were there a couple days early, so a few of the people we got to be together, very casually doing our thing, relaxing, settling in, and we take care of everything during the retreat. I don't want you thinking about what do I need to do. We pay for the lunches, we pay for transportation, all the tickets. We've arranged everything from the ceremonies. These are private ceremonies in private places. There's no interacting. It's not like going to a resort and watching a show. This is sacred ceremony in sacred places that have been treated and with people that I trust and know. And we are co-creating and weaving. You come in with your light, and we're weaving the light, and we're weaving with the land and the ancient Mayans and the spirits, and the jaguar, of course, always comes, and the dolphin spirit. And then all of these messengers show up, and you're a part of that too. So we have one lady who's taken note of all the messengers that we've had, and animal messengers specifically, and she's going to put together a beautiful little thing for everybody who came on the retreat with a short little explanation of their main energies so that everybody can kind of glance through and see. So all of the magic that unfolds begins with you. And what begins with you is you listening to your heart, you unplugging from the story going on around you. When you listen and you decide to step into the hero's journey, then you and you alone can step onto the path that the doors will open. So if you feel called to this, and you come and you talk to me, and I talked to someone today who's like, I think I'm supposed to come, and it's between these other events, but it feels like it fits in. And so we looked at, answered some questions. Last time, several people just showed up at the last second, and they were like, I know I'm supposed to do this. And so one person came like a month and a half before and then said no with her conscious mind. And then the last 3 days before, everything was coming at her. She couldn't deny the symbols. You got to go, you got to go. So she finally go, I think I'm supposed to go, bought her ticket the day before. So whether you hear right away and you take action right now for December and you give yourself all these months to pay it, or you decide 3 days before and there's still room, I don't know. However, in any way, whether it's this retreat or something else you're being called to, I want you to listen, not with your ego, not with your craving. That's the beauty of what I do. I will not say yes to anybody who is not aligned. This is often a friend or a partner that just wants to come along or just wants to do the special dolphin stuff we do because nobody else gets to do it and they can't access it. And the answer is no. This is a sacred journey. This is a sacred experience. I don't want to do it if it's not sacred. I don't want to do it if it's not fun, and I don't want to do it if there isn't a deeper, wider, bigger spiritual reason, which means it's not just for me, but me doing this for my reasons suddenly feeds the rest of the world. So one of the things that came up very strong at this retreat was the conversation around codes or key codes. Or recently I mentioned that we have the 777 gateways going on, and a lot of light codes are coming in from Sirius, and to pay attention if the blue ray or the silver ray or the silver dolphins or these different elementals, these different messengers are showing up for you because they're downloading. So that started on the full moon. On the full moon, we did the morning with the dolphins. So we're healing and we're kissing and we're hugging and we're holding their heart and we're doing heart-to-heart energy work, and I'm doing healing work on everyone in the waters, and we're having this amazing thing. And then in the afternoon, I felt called just a few days or a week or something before. I'm like, I need more sound healers. I want some crystal bowls. I can't transport mine. I want somebody doing crystal bowls. We need somebody. And I got the whole vision. It downloaded to me. We're in the condo that I stay in is the main home base with the altars, and I bring all my crystals and we make an altar and we do the sound healing, and I welcome you with the whole healing. And I receive messages as I'm clearing and cleansing you with all of my instruments and my smudge and my copal and the different sacred things, including the jaguar. And then this all came through was water, water, water. And then we had rain and cenotes and wind and thunder beings and lightning beings. And then Kukulkan, who's the feathered serpent, #1 god, the sun god, the god for the pyramid, for the Maya that represent the pathway back to our enlightenment, to shed the old and reclaim our spirit, the feathers. And one of my primary guides, absolutely incredible. And he came through the day we went to the pyramids and said, you must understand that you are ready for the lightning, the chi, the Koyopa to be activated in your blood. Okay, this is an important message. It wasn't just for us. I want you to hear that. I want you to write it down. I want you to think about what that might mean to you. If you feel called to the next retreat, let me know. Let's talk. If you feel, also the questions that I got today were about what's coming next year, and that is forming. So I could share a little bit with you privately, and that should come out maybe in the next week. I can't push spirit. And then the Koyopa, then all of a sudden, all of that came and people were getting ahas and synchronicities and oh my gosh, and we were led to a whole new pyramid and a whole new area we had never done activations in. And then I moved through the dimensions and I'm walking around calling to everybody and I can't see them. And they said they were right there. And this is what the Alush, the nature spirits and the fairies do. And it was heavy with nature spirits. We were in the jungle. There was rain, there was sun, it was incredible. The birds, intense sound healing from the birds in the jungle. And Kukulkan came to us there and activated the Koyopa, the chi in our blood. So this is the kind of thing that happens when you come, because I always work with Kukulkan. We used to go to the top of the pyramids. I used to get access in the morning. They won't let me anymore. That might change tomorrow, and it may never happen again. So it's important to come when you're called, because there's certain things that are open, certain things that are not, certain experiences we get to have, and certain doors your key codes, your purpose, your soul blueprint will open. And if we're all together, that door opens for you, it opens for all of us. So you never do anything selfish when you do self-care. You never do anything selfish when you do spiritual growth work. Also, there's an authenticity to this work. I have done this for 36 years in this life, and I've accessed many of my other lives. I've worked through many mystery schools, many energy healing and homeopathy doctorates, and all these different certifications. And I'm constantly teaching and learning and on my own path. I've been so blessed with the downloads, the connections, and the people that I've met since I've come here to the Yucatan. And I lived over on the Caribbean for 2.5, almost 3 years. And then I've been over here for 4. And so the depth to which the ancient Maya, or the oceans, or the cenotes, which are pure waters that we enter, the land, and speaking to it daily, all of the messengers that I live with, the ceremonial people that I meet and know, the places I go to pyramids at least once a month, every full moon, any other event, and I'm always bringing in information for you. So if I'm there by myself or I'm there with my partner, then we're bringing our key codes. That means energies or frequencies that are unique to our makeup, our design. It might be in your chakras, it might be in your cells, might be in your DNA, might be in your mental body. You're a big, big light body of multiple layers. So when you come on the retreat, I'm always doing and teaching you light body healing, infinity light weaving. We're increasing our intuitive skills. This is part of what your growth is about. That just goes without saying. So the first cleansing and healing opens up and then brings information through for each of us. So what are key codes? Key codes are codes that you carry that when you go somewhere or interact with someone, maybe on a particular day, maybe on the equinox, maybe anytime, there's a million possibilities. You carry something in your vibration, in your soul, intentional in your soul's design to bring to that place. It is like a key. It will open and free an energy. let's say you go to London and you're walking around. The streets are quite ancient. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of lives. Maybe you've had 5 lives. I've lived there. I went back to college there. I could tell you at least, I went there with my ex-husband. I went there with my new partner. I've been there so many times just in this life. I could stand in one spot in London and I could say, look at all the timelines that I was in this exact moment. And I could interact with that. But then think about all the other lives perhaps you had there, or all the other energies of other people that could affect or trigger an old soul wound or an old, recently a friend of mine was in a foreign country and suddenly texted me and said, oh my God, I broke my toe. It's horrible and all that. And I said, okay. So I'm checking in and I read her energy. And the first thing I see is like an old dungeon, like an old building. I can see the like mossy green on the sides of the bottom of the stones. And I can't really tell what it is other than that there's that vibration to it. And I can see the vision of the wall kind of looking up, to be honest. And I said, did you walk by today an old dungeon, an old fort, an old prison, an old castle or something? And she said, oh my God, yes. So I kayaked right by an old prison or an old ancient dungeon or something like that. So what happened was I was shown that her energy picked up codes. And what probably happened was those codes were sucked from her. It's why it broke her toe. And they were taken in a way that shows she has a very deep, energetic, soul, karmic kind of tie to whatever that energy is. Now, I'm not going to go down that road into it, but when you come somewhere, you pick things up and you leave them. And it's a principle of crime scenes, that you always leave something and you always take something. So you cannot come to a pyramid and take. Without even knowing it, you give. And if you give with me, you may give a crystal, or you may give something else, or you may give love. Okay, we all put our hands on the dolphin's heart and we give love and healing back. We do the same thing everywhere we go. And so what you want to realize is right now, even when you're going to the market, or you decide to go down the street over here and go a different way home, and you see a beautiful new street art, or you find a new little restaurant that you fall in love with, there's something always on your path. And that message that comes through, whatever the messenger is, maybe it's a broken toe. That's a pretty strong messenger, right? Well, what is the message? You don't want to get stressed about it, but you want to realize you might pick up things. So we always prepare. We use obsidian. We use a lot of different tools to prepare, to protect. I buy obsidian necklaces. These you can also look at the sun through safely. I buy these. These have now been to ceremonies and to our temple. So these are extra special and they're for sale. I usually have a few bracelets and other sacred items that I find. And over time, I take them to different places and I bring those for you. You can also bring your own things. One time, people's crystals all started changing after the activation I led at Kaaba in front of the wall of chalk rain gods. And it was profound. Everybody's glowing, gold sparkles, clear crystals, really clear crystals, growing shapes like pyramids and spirals, and growing and changing every single day in front of our eyes. And I've talked to crystal experts and they say that's not really possible. So sound healers, you cannot break what cannot be broken. Key codes. Yeah, so key codes are like answering the call of your heart or your soul or whatever it is, and becoming adept enough that you can decipher what you're craving. Are you stuck in craving? Is this an ego craving? Is this something you think, ugh? And it doesn't mean it's not for your soul if you feel like, I really want to do it. I really want to do it. But what I learned a long time ago was I really want to do it and I can't, I don't have the money or whatever it was. I went to my first mystery school when my kids were 3, I think maybe younger than 3. I was stay-at-home primary caregiver. I did not make money. We had money, but my ex didn't like spending it. So the idea of spending, $350 or something for 3 days in a mystery school, it felt impossible. It felt impossible. Who's going to watch my kids? What's going to happen? Oh, my husband's going to be pissed, and on and on and on. And I just said, this is so resonant to my heart. This is calling me at such a deep level. And it was the sacred geometry. It was Thoth. It was all these teachers that have become, that are my life now. And what happened was I surrendered it. I said yes. And then I said, I don't know how, but I feel this is for my soul. Then you don't just go and hope that you win the lottery or something. Okay, please. You actually take action. You relook at things. You look at things in a new way. You open yourself to receiving. You look at where you're blocked to receiving. You put down a deposit. You do whatever the things are that can be done in the moment to let the next level of truth open. Okay? So key codes are a lot of fun. We talked so much about them. And what happened was that we began to have codes that came from us and to us in ways that we didn't expect. So, you know, if you've been in one of my intuition classes, that it's always stunning and amazing when people, you know, do a reading or receive a reading and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't have a clue if that meant anything and I felt stupid saying it. And you wait, you know, you wait through the fear or the voice saying, oh, you're speak up right now or you're doing it wrong. You wait through, I can't see anything. You simply let all of that energy settle down. So what's so beautiful about this cocoon is that as you enter is the minute you decide, the minute you listen to the call of your heart. And if you understand the hero's journey, the heroine's journey that you're on, you answer that call, and the first thing is you meet a magical mentor. Hello, that's me. Okay, I'm here to be your fairy godmother in this particular instance. If you're not meant to come and you don't feel drawn, that's okay too. Then I'm not your fairy godmother in this instance. However, it's just dawning on me, and I know it sounds weird, the vibration that I'm blessed to carry, the pain, loss, fear, struggle, conflict, and what was the other thing someone told me today that's encoded into my blueprint, right? That I've been through in this life. The deep fears of torture and loss of freedom and failure and working hard and striving and all of the different things that I've been through. I've loved dolphins, and this is something I wished I could have done, but I never even imagined I could. I literally had no idea you could kiss a dolphin, and apparently you've been able to do that for a while before I showed up here 7 years ago. However, now when I realize that we go beyond, and that's my soul's promise, is that I take you deeper. I take you into my arms. I take you like this, heart to heart, body to body, mind to mind. The energy work that these dolphins, this is Hidalgo and Jono, and these are our beautiful dolphins that we do a lot of our work with. And this is not something anybody else gets to do. And as a matter of fact, nobody gets to do this. It's very rare. And so I asked for this and it manifested. And when I showed up in March, I said, is there any way we could do this? I did this with Picasso, my very first hug, my very first love. And he was an older dolphin. He was one of the original dolphins. And so he was very comfortable being in this kind of close contact and this kind of embrace. But they do not teach them this. And they said, we'll see if we can teach them. And when I came and said, well, are we going to be able to do the full body, the real hug, I called it? He walked to the edge and he opened his arms. And I've been doing this every day for months now. I go out onto my beach in the morning and the sun rises and I open my arms and I walk into the water and I embrace the gold water, the gold light coming across the water becomes the gold water into my heart. And I say, I'm ready and willing to welcome in those who are ready for these sacred experiences. And this time I was told, you train masters. The first healing I did, the first clearing, I cleared everyone and then I channeled the opening and the water and the dolphins and Shadia, the angel dolphin and the Lemurians and all these things came through, and I found myself bowing, and like bowing all the way to almost my head touching the ground, and maintaining that pose in front of every person there for a sustained, amount of time, not minutes, but it wasn't just a quick bow. And it was profound, the energy that came through me. And then this is my dream. So he walked up, and not only, they said they would try to see if one of these boys would like to learn this. And they both came up and threw themselves onto him just like this. So my delight doubled. And like I'm telling you, whatever we are able to do in December, who knows, maybe we can play with Perseus, the baby, will be partially because of you stepping onto your sacred journey, and partially you opening the portal. Because you opening the portal and me opening the portal and someone else opening the portal, we don't know how it's going to show up. We're opening our arms. We're opening our hearts. We're saying yes to spirit. And this is what they want you to do. They want you to open your arms and invite them in to your heart. Because if you look at this, they're very, very big, and they are full contact. So I held everybody else afterwards. I stood behind and went, whoa, okay. We had this one little tiny lady too. And because they are uninhibited. They are Mexican teenage boys, and they are absolutely loves and playful, and they play with us, and we kiss and we hug and we do all this wonderful stuff, but they don't hold anything back. They are fully present in their physical 3D bodies, and they're fully present in their minds, and they are multidimensionally conscious, and they're able to scan and see energies. So right now they're doing profound healing on me and my body and my soul and my mind and who knows what else. They're also always doing work into the water. The crystal net is already around all of us. And there's also Lulu on the other side, and there's Beethoven and Emiliano on the other side. And they're all in the same waters, even though they might not be in the same area with us. And they're all doing work. So this is a co-creative process. Then the Dolphin Collective is coming in. So this beautiful heart to heart, these are like twins to me too. Okay, I'll tell you one reason I'm emotional is I have twins. They're 26, and I never get to hug them both or hold them both at the same time anymore. And so this was just like every kind of love to me, and I receiving and giving. So this was our last day. All of the energies, all of the ceremonies, all the different times with the dolphins already, all the activations that I did, the different sound healers we had, the rain, the full moon, on and on and on, all culminated in this moment. And we were so ready. We were so open. We were so in bliss already that when they did this, we left. There was nothing left of the old self. The beauty, you should be feeling this. You should be receiving this. Just open your heart. Put yourself in my spot. Be the one receiving this love. Their skin is so soft, they shed it 12 times a day. Okay, you can see some scars on Hidalgo's head, and they'll be completely different next time. And the first day you'll come, there'll be none, and then next day there will be some, because they love to play, they love to have sex, they love to do all kinds of fun things, and they just shed their skin nonstop. Okay, they keep themselves clean, to keep themselves soft, to keep all of their frequency going. And so this is full dolphin love. And they are the ultimate sound healers. So the retreat in December, this is where you go to check out the details. We can send you logistic emails, we can chat, we can text, we can talk about whatever you need, okay? I want you to ask your questions. If it's not for you, you'll know, we'll know. You don't need to worry about it. I am not here to try to convince anybody to do anything, because one of the things that's, thank goodness, in my makeup, in my soul blueprint, is that it has to be sacred and it has to be aligned. So also, I'm going to be sharing tomorrow or Wednesday about the summer camp. We've got some new dates, some new format, and the Meet Your Spirit Guide Council. So don't worry, that's coming. Marganne is an incredible woman. She's been to, I think she came to 3 dolphin retreats and the Arkansas retreat. And she always says, oh, it's so sweet, it's so magical. The powerful ceremonies, the activations multiply the joy multidimensionally. And that's what I want you to get, is it's not just, oh, come have this, or come do that, or I've done that before. You've never done it. You've never done it with me. You've never done it in this way. You've never done it in this moment. You've never done it at this time. You've never done it at that moment with those energies, with our birth date, the day we start, at the time we start, stamped in, so the energies are incredibly auspicious, powerful, prosperous, and everything. You've never done it the way that I design it. Like the blessings of the sunshine, we're always connecting to the gold ray, the gold light, the waters, the cenotes, the sacred water. Indigenous shamanic events and open-hearted masters will rock your consciousness. This was when we were able to go to the top of the Great Pyramid at Uxmal, and I did an encoding for everyone at that retreat. This is symbols. You could read it along in different lines, and it is a code in order to ascend, and I can't even go into the power that came through that. So whatever you do, whenever you come, I will make certain that you get access to whatever comes through as the most powerful, the most unique, the most sacred experience in whatever way we do it. And don't think sacred doesn't mean fun. Okay, so this is such a beautiful experience because we've had, excuse me, this beautiful lady was new in her path. She said new, but it really was a couple of years. She started waking up. She started having intuitive experiences. So you can come if you've already been doing this 1,000 years, or if you don't even know what I'm talking about. All you want to do is know that if you're called, that very lovingly, I'm going to make sure that you're aligned to what is optimal for their highest good at this time in everything that you do. Now, my beautiful beloved has some issues still from his seizure, and he's highly attuned. He's highly sensitive. His third eye started opening. He started astral traveling, and all kinds of things started happening to him in the first ceremony of that first morning. And so he had to go lay down and process in his own way. However, that's him because he's in a very highly expansive, accelerated transformation, shapeshift, okay? So Shani said that without realizing actually happening, she started releasing the day before she got here, and it was actually me doing the work. So you, like I said, you are included right from the start. Anything that comes through is going to be getting to you. She said, wow, that was her, me. She was so gifted. Her retreat, it was sensational. Sacred cacao, jaguar ceremonies, dolphins, manatees, cenote ceremony. I was even communicating with iguanas. So very highly recommend Ann and her lovely connections of all of the crew, and considering her retreats, know that I'm backing that fire within you to step up to the plate. Go, you'll be so grateful that you did. I am. Hugs and love to you all. And I was just sharing with her so beautifully some of the things that happened this time, like the double hug, because that didn't happen when she was here. So this is our location, and we're going to be in the same condo as our home base. So some of the people coming will be in the same condo with me. Some of you will be in other ones in this beautiful town. This is our balcony. This is an unretouched photo. I did not do anything to this. This is how gorgeous it was. And the clouds, the rain, the thunder, we saw the sunrise come up every day here. Right to my left in the picture is the Dolphin Center. Behind us is our private beach. And the exquisite beauty of this place. This is another view from our balcony. The sun comes up right there. Well, it'll come up at a different place in December, so we'll see, but it did this time. This is the lagoon. The dolphins are right there. You do not have to stand behind a big wall like at SeaWorld to see the dolphins. They are free. We go meet them the very first night. I always go by at night. If the moon is up, I heart-to-heart weave with the moon and the dolphins and the water. The dolphins were gliding through the golden water. It was just amazing this time. And these are the restaurants. And there's some more restaurants behind, and you have everything you could imagine. Beautiful and very affordable. This is another area. Almost everything in this town is planned. It's all planned. It's all designed. It's all gated. It's the safest community in anywhere in the Yucatan. It is on the Caribbean. It is beautiful. It is quiet. And we get this incredible opportunity. No matter where you stay, you are on the water. So another person that came all the way from Australia, thank you for an amazing and healing adventure with all spirits and animals. I loved it, really grateful. Thank you. She's coming back. She said her heart's in Mexico. Here was the first sunrise from our balcony. Check out the eye. This is the kind of thing we have. A lot of spirit guides come. We had rainbow spirits on the balcony every day. This was the first night I was there. We were there 2 nights early, or 1 night early compared to the arrival date. And I went down and laid on the beach in one of the beautiful chairs under the tree. And my new phone took a picture of the moon and got the color. So I've never had a picture like this before. Again, I didn't edit it. And here I laid under the moon and the water was gently there. And I had gotten there, I had set up the altars, I had welcomed and cleansed the space. And then I sat here with the moon and had a beautiful download and connection to all the elements as I do to prepare us for the retreats. Here's another picture from our balcony. We had one lady who was out here every morning. I got up every day to watch the sunrise. She was an early riser too. She was out here doing cards and talking. And right here, you can see this direction, straight down the building. That is actually the Dolphin Center with the lagoon and the restaurants, so we're right near. Here's the private beach with the pool right on it. And here's our living area that I design and decorate. There's the Dolphin Center. I was like, look, it's right there. So every day was amazing. And that's what I tell you, you're building it. So you're on your own journey. Your journey might start today, or maybe you already signed up for December, like some of my students have, and you're on your path, or you start to feel like it. But what was so fun was, like she said, all of a sudden she had a leap. And this is what will happen for you. Wherever you are, you're going to leap in your abilities, in your intuitive abilities. She'd never talked to animal spirits. And it really started with the dolphins and the manatees. She started feeling something. She started understanding. She got some third eye activations from both of them, as well as kisses and other vibrational shifting. Remember, the dolphins are working with you right away. And I give you the dolphin recalibration audio. If you use it, it's going to multiply the healing and shifting you have before you come. And then the 4th day, we go to a sacred Mayan site in the morning. It happened to be the equinox, so this was something special. And that's where the iguana came through, and the iguana came into our circle, and all kinds of amazing things happened. It licked stuff and went under one lady's legs and came into the sacred circle where I'd drawn the sacred symbols and started to communicate with us. We started to sing with it. It started to respond. It brought its baby up. And this is like one of these magical things that happens. This time we had bats in our womb cenote. All the cenotes have bats. The bats do not hurt you. But what was amazing is they just hang, or you don't even know they're there, or sometimes you hear them cheep, cheep, cheep. But when they are part of your message, when they are a primary messenger for you in the moment, depending on what's just happened, they were circling and circling and circling, and the energies were just incredible. They were weaving our crown chakras after the cacao spa ceremony as we were floating in the sacred womb. So like she said, she'd never had communication. She'd never had visions. And it was all weird and amazing, but it was so real and it was so fast. And that's what this does. You also accelerate when you come on a retreat, because I had one guy come 5 retreats in a row, all of the ones I did prior to the pandemic and the break with around the last 4 years or so. And he kept saying at the end of it, oh, I was not going to come back again, but I have to. And why? Because at the end of the 5 days, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm a different person. I'm seeing color. I'm talking to spirit guides. I know my purpose. I'm a gardener, and now I know I was a gardener in Atlantis. And his very introverted personality, even when he came back and he knew me or he knew other people who returned, he was quiet the first day and a little bit more open the next day. And pretty soon he was like, oh my gosh, that's an amazing experience. So it's so incredible. And I want you to open that. This is our kitchen. We fill it up with love and food. We had so much food. Everybody goes to the grocery store on your way. You can buy what you want. I bring foods in. We do our juices. I bring our juicer, and we had a few wonderful times. A couple times, a few of the ladies made this incredible guacamole, and we go out to eat. We eat breakfast. We did have, I think, we had one lunch here. No, we had one dinner here. We grabbed all the salad stuff and made all kinds of fun things. And one lady makes these special tea out of, it's like a coffee tea mushroom thing. And she would make it for us in the afternoons. And there's just so much of the beautiful connection. And you can see that we're here somewhere beautiful. And then I've decorated, of course, with all of my crystals. So this is another sunrise and a little bit more of our condo. And this is a view from the other side. That little arrow there is pointing our balcony. So you can see that around the other side, there's the open ocean. So water being a big spirit guide for a lot of different reasons. And we have delicious foods, and just, this is a molcajete and all kinds of incredible things. Here's the opportunity to sit right by the Dolphin Lagoon. This was at a Mayan site. This was Mayan food, homemade Mayan food. It was incredible. And I loved the look on her face because she was just like having, oral orgasms over it. So remember that our dolphin experiences are 100% unique. They're not available anywhere else. What we do the first day is what's available to everyone. However, we do that because we have to get to know them. We have to come through, and we get the opportunity to meet the manatees. And then after that, we get to play, kiss, hug. We did the body hug. We build our relationship with our pod. We're doing high vibrational healing. Remember that they're doing sonar messaging, brain bliss, recalibration physically, your full life body, meditation. We do floating meditations with them. Oh my goodness. The last day we did those. We did some play. We did some dolphin divination. I did some energy healing on each person in the water with the boys swimming around. And then we did those incredible double hugs. Then we went in with Lulu, a beautiful girl, older, beautiful, wonderful girl healer that last time was just so kissy with us. And she does healing work on us as we float for an entire hour. And the last healing we had, we could hear her the whole time, the sounds, the clicks, the noises. It was just incredible. Hi, baby. So this is one of the times I was doing some of the healings. These are some of our ball play. We get to know them so well that it is like playing with a friend. They love playing. They're like, throw, back and forth, back and forth. This was the new game. These are the rings that I made the dolphin divination things on. Our number one message was live in overflow. And there was a lot more depth to that came up. So I was talking to my beautiful friend and asking for Hidalgo to bring me the message, and then you throw them and they bring them back. And it was just an incredible thing. And then of course, you know that this is my new favorite thing that will be. And we get to do third eye activations here. I'm holding his heart as well. And these we do in many different ways. We work with the heart here. You hold it from above and below. You can feel it. And then you get down and put your heart next to it. There's so many ways that we receive and touch and kiss. And they're always doing something with us. And this more healing that I did. And here's our final healing at this last retreat. This is Lulu. And I didn't know I was on the stairs. I ended up floating into the stairs. But it was perfect because if I had thought that in my ego mind, I would have been, oh no, the dolphin can't get near me on the stairs. And yet for 3/4 of it, I heard her talking constantly. And I loved when I saw this picture, how she came into the middle of us. There's some other people over here. She came right into the middle, and all of us said we could hear her. She was working on us. Here she's moving. There's all kinds of energy happening. One lady again, she's right up next to me. She's not told what to do. She's free to do whatever she wants for that entire hour. And, the trainers go away and they just leave us here. And so we know when we see this and we feel her and we hear her, she's intentionally moving around. One lady felt her fin on her back. That's significant because she doesn't have to let you feel her. Look at here how she's working with the feet chakra. And here the crown. And here she's even moving and adjusting while she's coming right up and practically touching her. So this is such a profound experience that to me, it's the pinnacle. We do it twice. It looks like we have some repeat pictures here. Yeah, you can see this. Look, you're floating while this dolphin is working with you. Our cacao ceremony, we always do the first afternoon after the healing and the sound healing, because we must enter Xibalba. We must enter the underworld. This is part of your journey on the hero's journey. We must be prepared, and we must do it in a sacred way. So I get my favorite people in my favorite private cenote. This is not available to the public. This is a private land and a private cave, and it is called the Guadalupe cenote. It holds Mother Mary or Mother Earth energy. This is our beautiful goddess Michelle. She makes some special teas for us, special cacao, special honey. We have pre-Hispanic music. We have a copal clearing. We have the fire. We do all the work up before we enter the cave. Then we have the spa and the ceremony. And then we enter the beautiful waters. So this is an actual cacao pod and some of the chocolates that we didn't eat yet. The cacao that she made for us with gold, and just some elements of the beauty of the sacredness and the simplicity. And this is what I want for you. Here's where we enter the womb. And here's where she's explaining. Here's when we're in there preparing for our spa and our herb cacao. And what happens is that this is a being and an essence. So we work with it all week, and we have it in several different ways. And so the beauty of what we experience here is both the land, the earth, the waters, the elementals, and then these other sacred elements, the way that she does it in all the sacred traditions. And then here is our womb that we enter and swim in. And the bats were weaving with us in this time in an incredible way. Now, sound healing was huge in this one. We always do sound healing. I even do sound healing. However, I felt called, and I called on 2 new sound healers came into our reality. We went to Koba, which is the sacred Mayan site, in the morning. Excuse me. And there were so many birds. So I'm putting the videos together with you so I can share with you, because you will be stunned as we entered the sacred site. Thankfully, nobody was there yet, and we were called by the vultures over to the first pyramid. They were waiting at the top for me. There were 2 on the top and 1 on a tree. They were forming a triangle of light and opening for our third eye. We were called to walk around and each find where we should collect and leave our key codes, like I was telling you. And the whole time, the birds in the canopy of the jungle are going nuts. Okay. Throughout the time we were there, there was lightning, thunder, rain, and birds, and all kinds of amazing things were happening. So we had these different things, and this was one sound healing. We were actually supposed to have this sound healing in the water. We were supposed to be floating in the ocean water, but in a lagoon, so in these little water hammocks, while she did this sound healing right next to us on the shore. However, the elementals decided to bring intense rain. Instead, we were inside, which was lovely. The whole wall was open, and the rain was adding to the sound healing. It was as spectacular as anything else, and she had many, many instruments. And this was the full moon afternoon, where this beautiful, amazing Mayan man and his maiden daughter here, she's 7, came to our condo. And I can't explain their beautiful energy to you, but when you meet Maya, many Mayan people are so pure, they're so soft, they're so gentle, and they are light in their bodies. When this little girl entered, she brought a Mayan maiden energy with her that felt like Ishel, the maiden. And she played some of these instruments. He sang. There were things he did with these crystal bowls that none of us had experienced before. They went from soft to super intense and opened portals all above me in the condo. I was going out portals throughout the whole sound healing. We were laying on the floor and on couches and all around in different places. This is one view from where I was laying, and a few other people on the other side. And the beauty of their presence, their wisdom, their knowledge. He also sang. We had a few different opportunities to connect and Koyopa. I told you about the lightning in the blood, which is chi, which is that awakening of your soul's power, your soul's energy. It's the kundalini. And we had this when we went to Koba. So here's the vultures, the pyramid where we first went. This was one structure that started to radiate light. You can see the light coming out of it in all kinds of ways. Very interesting. This was one of the trees that we met immediately, and immediately a couple people went right over to it. And this is called a tree of life. It's a ceiba tree. And here different people are walking around. This is at the base of the pyramid with the vultures, the first one we were called to. And we were asked to go around and find where you would feel resonance and leave your key codes or receive key codes. The light, the sun, all of the different elements are very profound when you're in this jungle that is an enormous, enormous area of one of the biggest Mayan cities that had multiple temples. This is a temple where we had many past lives experienced in a mystery school together with other retreats. We went around like this. This was one lady receiving key codes from a particular temple. She said she felt drawn to walk up this one, and I did as well, and other people didn't. Some people moved into the forest and places we found. We were very exploratory, where in the past, we took a beeline straight to the highest pyramid and we went up it, so we were there at dawn. However, that's not something we can do anymore. They don't let anyone climb that pyramid. So this time was a very different experience. Here we were enjoying flying through the jungle on our Mayan taxi, and we have some wonderful videos of that as well. So some of these codes that you receive come from the stelae, and this is from a previous retreat where we all had a second experience. This is the temple I showed you a minute ago. We did the activation. Everybody went their separate ways. We had a couple hours in our Mayan taxis. We all ended up here. We all felt something. We all remembered a past life of a mystery school together here. This is also a place that I was with Chris as a Mayan Brothers. And there was a lady who happened to have a professional camera that was walking around at the time. You can see the light beings, the green, the yellow. And if I could zoom in, you would see more. They suddenly appeared. Now there's a light flash coming down on us, and then this happened, and then it went away. So she has a click, one of those cameras that take a lot of pictures in a row, and that was like normal. Oh my gosh, look, beings, flash of light, boom, gone. And this was us. We went right into that other life. We went into another dimension. These places hold vortexes and other dimensions. So like I said, you're here to do some very, very powerful work, but don't worry. I always make sure that we enter in sacred space. This is actually many, many years ago when I was in Egypt. That's the Sphinx. We were between the paws of the Sphinx at dawn. That's my mystery school teacher and the musician. And look at the light beings that happen when you go somewhere sacred and you do activations. These are literally flower of life, Merkabas, floating around, light beings right there. So this happens everywhere. We do a temple of some kind ceremony and go into the mermaid cenote, which was really incredible. And we have a beautiful, experience. So we have more to share with you, and I'm going to come back for every day this week. So there's a schedule in the email, and Donna is setting them up on YouTube. So you can also see there when the lives are coming up. And this was like a quick overview just to give you an experience of what do I do on retreat? What does that actually mean? There's so many people doing retreats now, and it's important to understand, what do you feel called to? That's why if you want to have a conversation with me, let's do it. I will tell you, the lady who I talked to her about a month and a half before the March retreat, and I told her, well, you're definitely meant to come. And she said, oh, you probably say that to everybody. And I laughed and I said, well, I know why. I can understand why you would say that, but no, I don't. And then 3 days before, she said, I'm supposed to come. And I said, I know. So another lady that came this time who tried to come and things got in the way, and finally right near the end managed to put it together. I was explaining to her that every time that I project into that, so the December retreat, I'm also already visualizing. I'm walking around the condo. I know the condo. And I walked down the hall and I turned and saw her when I was visualizing this one in July that we just had. And so I knew she was meant to be there. I didn't make it up. I didn't say, oh, please bring her here. I want money or whatever. I was like, whoever's meant to be, whatever is aligned. And my job is to make sure that you hear the message, or to keep giving the message in a way that your heart can hear, that your soul can hear, and to assist you if you need any assistance in finding your path to this or anything else. If you want to come to the intuition class, if you want to work with me privately, if you want to work on your business or your money or your soul purpose or your next steps, whatever it is, if you feel aligned to me, let me know. Because if we're meant to work together, that's the way it works. And you take a step and a door opens, a magical mentor appears. It might be me, it might be the dolphins, it might be an iguana, it might be the bats, it might be something else, okay? So thank you, everybody. It was a joy and a pleasure to get to be with you today. I also want to remind you, I will be weaving in the spiritual weather report this week because there's a lot going on, not a lot this week. However, there's a lot of these stargates that are opening, okay? So the 777 stargate, the first one was on July 7th. However, it started really with July 3rd, the full moon. You can look back to that. And then what that means, it means we're moving towards Lion's Gate, which is 8/8, August 8th. The Lion's Gate is a gateway with Sirius. Sirius is the planet of Isis, the Egyptian goddess, or the sacred feminine, and the shaft goes directly into the Queen's Chamber in the Great Pyramid. Now, what happens is that as this builds over the next several weeks, we have two more 777s. The 16th and the 21st or 24th, I'm sorry, I can't remember right now. But I'm going to share more about that with you so that you are prepared, that you're ready. And as I'm bringing you this information now, we're going to show up tomorrow, and there's going to be one magical aspect or story or journey that's going to come through that I'm going to take you on, and we're going to completely let that be what is optimal for us at that time so we can co-create. Another very, very popular dolphin divination message was two people wrote almost the same one. One person went co-create with love, and the other one said co-create in unity. So I combined them onto the ring, and it said co-create in love and unity. And that was another live in the overflow, co-creating in love and unity. And the third one I remember that got a lot of action was you already know the answer. It's obvious. And that was also a combination of two different things that the dolphins asked me to put together. So I don't know what will be on the dolphin divination rings in December, but I do know that if you're meant to be there, I will see you. And if there's any other way I can be of service to you, I hope that you will let me know. Namaste. Fairy Godmother, woo, hi honey. I'm in, I just signed up. It was as if I had not a body experience that forged me to actually sign up. I'm open and willing. Oh, bless your heart, sweetie. How exciting. Well, we know that you're meant to be here. So we're going to be walk the path together. Yay, Brittany. Oh, I'm so excited. Genevieve is going to be here, and Debbie's going to be here, and Brittany is one of my intuition students who's been through last year's. She's been through certification. She's been through a lot of different things together with me. And so and she's one of my students who I work with on the mystery school realms. We have a very strong mystery school bond, and it doesn't matter how our bond is. I have other ones that are through fairies and through other things. And one of the ladies that came back this time is an accountant, and she'd never heard of any of this, but we connected. We became really good friends when I was doing business coaching and spiritual coaching, business and money. And we became very good friends, and she just started coming to the retreats because she loved me, and she keeps coming back. So I think this was her fourth, maybe fifth one. And she was the one who said, where does joy live? So I put that on the dolphin divination ring. And I'm not sure if she got it. I think she did, maybe. But here's what was really beautiful. And I'll finish with this. The last day, we sat down at the end of the day. We just had our dolphin hugs and our healing with Lulu and oh my goodness and everything. And we'd had our blissful, incredible lunch at Pineapple with delicious organic foods. And we came back and everybody had a rest and a relaxation. So the rhythm was there. And we were going to go out to dinner together by the dolphins for our end. And we sat down and I brought in the energies and I channeled the final healing and I channeled a private message for each person. Well, it came through for everybody, but for each person. And the first thing I said, though, was, what's something that rises to the top for you? I'm so grateful for. And the lady who had said, where does joy live? And she came because she said, oh my gosh, everything's in my life is actually working now. Now I realize I have to understand this better. I have to become a different person to not just grow my business, but to now begin to enjoy it, to really step into that other part of the non-linear, right, part of my life. And she said, I now know where joy lives. And she pointed to her heart. And she's just beaming. And as she left the next day, she was just beaming. Every part of her was glowing. And this is what I want for you. I want you to leave. So another manifestation way for this is to see yourself leaving, flying home. See yourself, as we hug and say goodbye and you get into the van or you get on the plane and you're just relaxing for a few hours, going home. That's your transition zone. And how would you feel? Imagine, tune into that you. You will be lighter, more blissful. You will be amazed. You will be so filled with love. The tears flow, but they're joyful tears. We had someone come whose husband died not even 6 months ago. The grief that was released, the courage that was released, the ability to step into something when there's a resistance because of the fear of embracing something new and losing what you had. All of these things were brought into this cauldron of love and we walked through together. So I hope for you that you now will open up to know where joy lives. Because not just when you're here do the dolphins raise your frequency, do all the work that I do and everything around us, all the little agoutis and little creatures and things, they're little cute little capybara looking things that in tiptoes or walk around, little raccoons, and I don't even remember all the beautiful beings that came to us, is that you are supported, that you are loved, that you're able to receive it, that you're able to let go, that you can spend that week feeling bliss, feeling light, feeling a sense of peace for who you are and not be inundated in your life. Not that there's anything wrong with your life, but this is a freedom opportunity for you. All right, everyone. Oh, hi, Deb. Thank you so much. This was wonderful. I feel myself being drawn out of the chaos and muck I was caught up in recently. Excellent. Yes, yes. Deb is coming in December. Yes to the mysteries. Yes to December. I love you too, everybody. Namaste. I will see you tomorrow and we'll see what other parts of this mysterious, beautiful, wonderful medicine is going to rise up for us. Bye-bye.